What's up, guys? We are live. And
Hi.
there's Charlene. Charlene, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic this evening. We're really excited to see what you have to show us. And guys, we are really lucky to have Charlene with us tonight.
Oh,
Charlene has a beautiful store
oh,
in Grand Prairie, Alberta, Canada. Charlene, how many square feet is your store?
4,000.
4,000 square feet. It didn't start out like that, though, did it?
We started, we had half the store, and then there was another business on the other side, and then we took the whole thing over almost 7 years ago. So,
I
yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
Steady growth. That's awesome. I've been to Charlene's store before. It's a beautiful store. And what I'm excited about really tonight is she's going to teach us how to use the vintage antiquing wax. And I feel like me, coming in from the perspective as a beginner, I can see how the wax would be scary or, intimidating to get started with, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then after this video, if you're watching it now or watching it later, it should be all clear.
Awesome. And the other thing is like the colored wax. So you have, different 3 or 4 different colors of wax. And so for me, it'd be like, well, I don't want to put like a darker wax on it. It'd be scary that I'd, mess up my project or whatever. So we're excited to have you teach us more about the wax, and let's jump in.
Excellent. Well, I'm super excited to show you guys, and I'm blessed to do it, and we're so excited to do it. And I'm just going to introduce my sister behind the camera. You're not going to see
Hello.
her, but she's there. She's always with me during my lives when we do it here in Grand Prairie. And then Kevin, if nobody knows why there's a strange man on the corner of my screen, I should say that Kevin is our rep for American Paint Company here in Canada and US, right, Kevin?
Correct. Yep.
Right. So he's here to help us out with questions. We love it when you comment on our posts and really just say hi, let us know you're there, send us some likes and loves and questions. I look forward to them, and we look forward to answering them. So American Paint Company, first of all, we always shorten to APC because it's just a mouthful to say over and over again, especially during our lives. So when you hear me say APC, it's American Paint Company. So we're going to get into the wax today. American Paint Company has a lot of products, but we're going to really just touch base on the waxes. But to do the waxes, I feel like you need to know that American Paint Company has 3 different sealers, and it's one of the companies, one of the few companies I feel that does have different sealers. So they have what they call top coat, which is liquid like milk, which we'll touch base in a different live. They have hard coat, which is it's the blue bottle, and that's for outdoor sealing. And then we get into the waxes. And like Kevin was saying, the waxes maybe are something that if you're not familiar with, I look forward to teaching you guys all today about waxes. So when you're using top coat, it's for any of sealing your furniture. So American Paint Company's paints all have to be sealed. So if you do a project and you don't seal it, it's almost like building a house and not putting a roof on. You need to seal every
I love
time.
that. I love that. That's a good analogy.
But now you need to seal it, right, and protect it. So you're either going to seal it with one of these 2 products, or you're going to seal it with the wax. So the reason why you would be using the wax
Hi,
is
Mom.
oh, my mom is on.
Yeah.
Oh, and I guess your mom too.
Yeah, my mom too.
Hey, Judy, how are you?
One of the reasons you're going to be using the wax is because it has a matte finish over the top coat or the hard coat. They're not super shiny, but they do have a sheen. So wax is more for your fine furnishings or items that you really just don't want to be shiny. That's how we like the wax. So with the clear, that is just your all-purpose sealer. And then the one we use most is clear and dark. So dark wax, it's the same product, just with the tint in it. And then we have black wax, which is just going to be another color. And then we have white wax, which is just another color of wax. And then we can do a lot with this clear wax, which I look forward to showing you guys. We're going to show you what they look like basic on some wood trimmings. And then I'm going to show you some little tips and tricks and fun things that we can do with the wax. You may not know that if you have it already, you can do that with it. So when I say fine furnishing, what I mean is let's start like this. If we go, sorry, I'm bouncing. If you think about your lifestyle, that's how I think about sealers. So if I had the 6 kids in the house, I would probably want to seal everything with top coat. It's my most durable. and it just don't have little fingers on it, if that makes sense. But doesn't mean I can't use the wax to seal, but what it means is I might have to retouch it if those 6 kids are always touching it. Does that make sense? Make sense?
Totally, totally.
Could be for fine furnishings or low use items. Or if I'm not, all the kids are grown up and out of the house, wax is still my friend, right? So they are chemical free. They have absolutely no smell, which is something to really appreciate about the entire American Paint Company line is the not no odor, not low odor, it's absolutely no odor. So, and it's soft. Can you see that, Tam Tam?
I can zoom in.
It's soft like butter, and some people say it has a slight honey smell to it. It really, to me, doesn't really smell like anything at all. It might have the clear might have a little bit of honey smell to it, but it's the nice thing about it is it's super soft. It's one of the waxes on the market you don't see like you don't see them like this. They're hard. So when I first met Kevin, I think 6 or 7 years ago, and he come to the store and dropped off a business card, and he sent me a picture of their wax. And it was one of the products that intrigued me the most because I've never seen a wax so soft like this. We used a different company, and it was so hard that by the time I went around and tried to get wax on my brush, you start your project with a big smile on your face, and then 20 minutes later, your wrist is killing you because you're just really trying to get that wax on the brush, and you don't have the issues with this wax because it's so soft. This is the black.
Yeah. And I will say, Charlene, too, like one of the main reasons for that is like most waxes are petroleum based.
That's
so
right.
That's why there's so much smell when you're working with wax sealers because of the petroleum bases. Like it's hard to do a project inside with a petroleum based wax, right?
Exactly. So what this allows you to do is also paint it where it stands. So if I was painting a cupboard or a dresser, you pull it out from the wall, you put your base coats on, you wax it, or you finish it however you'd like, and you can push it back on the wall. Nobody's the wiser because you actually have no smell.
You didn't fumigate everybody.
No, and you don't have to wait 2 weeks for husband to bring it up to the garage because he's for us, right? There's that light that's so I mean, you're looking at indoor painting, especially in the winter times when it's in the winter when it's cold. For us, I don't know where you guys all are, but for us it's cold. We get to like -30, -40,
-60 with the wind.
-60 with the wind. We're really happy to, yeah.
You don't want to be painting outside, that's for sure.
That's exactly right.
Or a non-heated garage.
That's right.
Yeah.
Waxes, fine furnishings, or anything that I want to keep matte. Another kind of nice trick is if I was painting my cupboard and I had those 6 children, but I like the look of wax. What a nice little trick is you can put your 2 coats of top coat on first, and then I can go over top after that with a coat of wax. And what that will do is it'll dull the shine of the top coat, and I'll have the finished matte, smooth finish of the wax. So that's a nice little trick. So I still get my covering and my protection that the top coat gives me, but I get the sheen of the wax, which is a lot less.
I love that, Charlene.
Yeah,
because
and
we get that question a lot. It's like, hey, we want the look of the wax, but we also want to make sure it has a durable sealer first. And so I love that tip to put the top coat sealer down first, and then you can finish it with the wax.
That's right, and it does make a difference, and then you still get both best of both worlds, really.
Absolutely.
But a thing to remember too with the wax is if I painted something and I sealed it with either the top coat or the hard coat, and I didn't like it for some reason, I wanted to repaint, I just repaint over it. When I deal with wax, I think about it alphabetically. So wax starts with a W, which means wax is last, and I can't paint over wax. If I wanted to remove, let's say I didn't like the color and I wanted to remove the wax, there's a few ways to do that. You can sand it off, but then you take the chance of hitting the paint color underneath. My favorite method is the mineral spirits, and it's stinky. I will warn you, it's stinky, but it's quick. The wax comes off, you repaint it again, and then you can wax again. So wax is one of the products that you can't paint over. Everything else you can paint over again, but wax, once you do wax, it needs to breathe. It needs to cure to 2 to 3 weeks to get nice and hard. And I'll teach you how to buff it today. We're doing some wax on buffing. We're going to do some wax, colored wax, because we can mix paint with clear wax to make then my own colored wax. We're going to be doing a blue today. And then we're going to touch base on using clear wax as an eraser. So
My favorite thing.
yeah,
Awesome. I'm excited to see your projects.
we use signs here at the Primitive Line a lot, and that's the technique we use, and that's how we do it. So, and with the product line, the wax comes in 2 sizes. So it comes in a small and a large. Always, better bang for your buck if you buy larger. But all 4 colors come in all 2 sizes. Make sense? How's that? No questions yet? Everybody's good? Golden?
Yep,
All right.
I love it. Excited to see you get started.
So this is just a piece of MDF baseboard. So what I have on here is Country Barn. So it's our beautiful, this one we call burgundy red. So you can use, when you're using wax, and we're going to put clear wax on this guy, just so you can see that when you paint something with our paints, it does look dull and chalky because it's a clay chalk mineral based paint.
Hence chalk paint.
Hence that. So we need to seal it to get our beautiful color that we're so looking forward to. So if this was a big piece of furniture, I probably would be using my wax brushes. So we sell the Vintiquity brushes. They come in 2 sizes for wax. They're round. They have hard bristles that help you with the wax. And in this case, I just like to use cloth because it's just a smaller project. So if this was a picture frame, I don't want to dirty up my brushes, I can just use a lint-free cloth. And these are just those painter rags cloths that you find at like Home Depot and such. We buy them in bulk and we cut them up so that we don't use so much waste. So this is just going to be clear wax. And what this is going to do is it's going to bring out our bottles are well loved over here. So
yeah. Wait till you see this color pop.
Our dark wax bottle. Okay, so less is more, but I'm a little bit of an impatient girl. So I tend to put a little bit, but you can already see the difference between this color and this color, right? So really, you can take that wax, move it all around. It's easy, it's fast, no smell. And I'll even leave a little piece of it up here not done. But that's as easy. This is for some reason producing a little bit of lint for me. Because sometimes when they say lint free, they lie. Just a little bit, but look at that. That's as fast as it takes to wax with the clear wax. So I'll have my 2 coats of paint. I'll put my wax on. You can let it dry 2 to 4 hours. We always like to let it sit overnight even. Then I go back the next day and I'm going to take a clean cloth and then I will buff it. And as I buff it, all that does is it makes it a smoother finish. The more I buff, the more it's going to shine. But it's never going to get as shiny as the top coat. It's never going to have that. It's just going to bring out that beautiful color even more. So how's that look on camera? Can you see up here?
Charlene, how long did you say you wait? Buff it right away, or you wait the 2 hours, or?
You can wait the 2 to 4 hours. We always like to let it sit overnight with our signs. We let it sit overnight, and then the next day we come and we buff, and it makes a big difference. Brings out that really. You wouldn't think it's a small thing to do, that you don't think it's going to be a big difference, but it really is. So you can do the 2 to 4 hour wait, or take a break, go watch some TV, come back, buff it the next day. That's what I think. So that's how easy. That's clear wax, and that's how you get it completely changed this beautiful color to look exactly what it looks like on our sticks.
That was fast.
That's clear, and it's fast, right? And it
fast.
Really, really well. So I'll wash up and I've got nothing on my hands.
Nice.
This one we're gonna do. So this is black. This is Oh, sorry, Tammy.
It's okay.
This is Cannonball Black. So this I'm going to show you the white. So the white I find even creamier than the other 2. So again, just a nice white creamy wax. And this is going to really, so if I was in a project and I like the black, I would stop there and I would put clear. But if I wanted to try something a little bit more bold, then I would go to the white wax. This looks really good too on blue. Gives everything
like a beachy look.
Yeah, like a really beachy look. So I put the smallest amount there, and that was probably even a little bit too much. But I get it down faster this way.
That's okay. It's on off.
That's right.
So that's all right.
So I also want to explain a little bit about how much wax do I put on? Because we get that question too, right? So how much wax do I use?
Not that much.
Not that much.
Wow, that really changes it. You know, putting white on black
But
like
it's
that.
too much, right? So now you're going to want to take a clean spot on your cloth, and you're going to want to wipe it back. So how I think about wax is lotion on my skin. So if I put lotion on my skin and I had a piece of lotion that was sitting there and not soaking in, I want to get that away. So it's the same with this. If I had too much on, I need to take it off. So think of it as lotion on the skin. So the more, see how I've taken off this crack?
Looks cool.
The more I take off, the more I like it. Or if it really is up to you, you can leave as much as you want or as little as you want. So if I wanted to go back in there and add some more white wax for these cracks, I can do that and leave it there. So really, no right or wrong answer. The only thing you do want to do is make sure you don't have a piece of wax just sitting on the surface. Like I said, like lotion on your skin, it should be wiped away. Not that, right? So
yeah, that looks really good. I admit, when you first covered it with white, I was like, oh, too much. But like, it's cool how when you take it off, it looks really good.
And like I said, and on the navies and the blues and the starry nights in the collection, this gives it a beautiful, even beachy feel.
Yeah.
And I mean, I could do it here. We're going to do it later anyways. But here's another nice thing. Remember I was talking about using the wax as an eraser. If I was like, oh my gosh, I don't like that. I feel like I lost too much of my black. Yeah.
See, that's what I would be afraid of. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I use wax as a eraser, I tend to put a nice little amount. And what I want to do with this piece is move it around. So I'm kind of pushing that same cluster of wax that I have, and I move it around till it starts to pick up that wax. And you see, I don't want to use that cloth that's got red on it, how I can bring back the black a little bit. Whoops, that had white on that.
Hello, Roxanne.
Hey, Roxanne, how are you? She says, hi, Charlene. Great video. APC is my go-to chalk paint. Always fun watching and seeing new ideas.
Yay!
I love all your tips. These are awesome tips.
Well, thank you. All right.
How much different that looks.
So look how different, look at the different look I got already. So I used my clear wax as an eraser. I kept the white wax in the cracks. I didn't do it here. That's why it looks so different. But don't be scared to play, because anything you can erase with the clear wax.
That is cool. I like that.
It doesn't take it away completely, but it brings it back to maybe showing the black color, the blue color. And then if you're like, nah, I want to go back in and add some more white, then you go back and add white. But isn't that neat? Like, perfect. That's a beautiful piece. And it took
Charlene, let me ask you, is it important to do the like the eraser, is it important to do that before you give it time to dry or cure, or what happens if you want to do it later?
Yeah,
or
play with it. I like to play with, I think you could still do it. I don't know about, you know what? I don't even know. Let's say that. What do you think, Tammy?
I would say to do it right away.
I would say to do it right away, because I've never let a piece sit if I didn't like it. I play and I play and I play and I like it. Does that make sense? I've never really tried, but have you tried taking it off after, Kevin?
I haven't. I mean, usually it's done right away. I don't know. I haven't tried it. I just was wondering if you come back 4 hours later or the next day and say, oh, I want to change it up a bit. But
yeah, I think that if I had a piece and I had put it, you know, the dark wax on it, and then it's 4 hours later and I wanted to add some white wax, I could totally do that. About taking the clear wax and use it as an eraser probably wouldn't work as well as if it wasn't fresh wax. But adding wax and layering more wax would still work 4 hours later.
That makes sense. Yeah. Cool.
But see, once you get into it, you don't even want to stop. You want to go until you
love it. Yeah.
Exactly. Black wax. So this is our favorite color here at the Primitive Room.
Mine.
Tam's favorite color, Shoreline. Gorgeous color. Shoreline, we're going to put black wax on, and you're going to see how different this one looks.
Did we do black already? Oh no, we did white and clear.
We did white and clear.
Right.
Clear, white.
So the 4 colors in the collection. So
it's gonna look awesome.
Again, just because I played with it.
See, this is the scary part for me.
It's not scary at all. So, and do remember, it's painting, and we can always go over things if we don't like it, except for the wax, right? We'll remove it. And like I said, you can remove it with the sandpaper, but then I feel like I'm going to screw up my paint. So I like to either take it off with the mineral spirits, That's my favorite way. People might have a different way. And that's a lot of wax, right? I don't know if are you focused on here? I'm not sure.
Well,
So
I
you see
can.
how I have lots of wax in these. This is too much wax. Like I was saying, lotion on the skin needs to come off, right? So I'm going to take that same cloth.
Ooh, I like that.
Start
Yeah, it looks
wiping
cool.
back.
That's cool.
A little bit easier
See?
when I have the brush. but
Shoreline's the best.
Shoreline is pretty.
Very pretty.
That rag looks like it works pretty good to like get into the detailed areas and
It's not too bad. If this was a big dresser or something, my hand might start to get tired a little bit. So that's why I think the brushes are really good. But for the sake of not,
yeah, on the smaller piece.
But again, gorgeous.
Look at the difference.
That's
not
classy. I like it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I've
that's
got this
classy.
little color or peekaboo here,
Original.
not doing anything. But then you can also see how it picked up my brush strokes of the paint that we put on at first. And it just kind of goes in there,
Looks
lives
like
in
a
there.
wood grain.
Yeah, it's great looking.
That's cool. I like that.
And again, do I have one?
If
So
it's
if you're
too-
like, oh my gosh, just know that anytime you're going to wax it, if it's not clear wax, it's totally going to change the color. But if I'm panicking and I want to get that bright blue back, look at that. You see?
Ta-da!
Is that the white that you're putting on?
This is the clear wax.
Oh, they're clear. Okay.
Clear wax activated.
Wow,
the
it
red.
does. Yeah. That's,
No, it really took it off. So there's no
Yep.
need to panic if you're putting that black on and then you feel like you put too much. I think clear wax is your best friend. So I would probably always buy, if I was going to buy a color, I'd always try to make sure I have a clear on hand in case I went and I decided that I wanted to come back to a little bit of that color.
So you don't have to be scared, Kevin.
That's right.
I have an eraser now. This is great.
That's
Yeah.
right. All right. We have Voyage, which is my actual color of the bottom of my kitchen cupboards. It's a gorgeous color.
Mm-hmm.
It's blue, it's green, it's kind of both depending what setting it's in. It's gorgeous. All right, what can we do? Do. Have to cheat. Dark. Okay. So dark wax is probably the one we sell the most alongside of clear wax. So dark wax is got a little bit more brown in it over the black wax.
And actually, the first two were just the clear, and then the brown were for years, and the
That's
black
right.
and the white were the newer ones. Yeah.
Yeah. And then when APC introduced the white, we were so excited because
Yeah.
white, you can imagine the white, the gray with the white on it, how pretty it is. And even the black is nice. It really depends what you're doing.
Like the black with that shoreline look awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so I know I said you don't need a lot, but see, when I do it, I just like to get it on, and I'm a get it done kind of girl.
See
So
it,
like
she ain't lying.
5 seconds, I've got my wax on, right? So, and you see how I'm not being super focused about where it's going. I'm just making sure it's in the cracks. I get a clean spot on my rag. Again, just the lint-free rags, and I start to pull it back. So for me, it helps when you have fingernails if you can get into the cracks.
Or fake nails.
Yeah, fake nails would be even better, but I keep getting told it.
Waxing nails.
But yeah, that's right. So super, look how much it changed the color of that.
Wow, that did. When you first put it on, it looked very similar to the black, but I don't know if it was just
Right.
coming through the camera or not. But now it's more of a brown. I see more of a brown.
Yeah, and I don't know, you can
Okay.
tell a little bit there. And because this is black, this is brown.
You can really tell.
Yeah.
And again,
And it
Right.
makes a difference because the two colors are different. The paint colors are different too.
and then let me tell you, whether you seal with clear wax or whether you seal with the colored wax, it's your sealer. So once you're done, you're done. You don't have to put anything else on top. So the clear wax, the dark wax, the black wax, the white wax, they're all your sealer. So I actually prefer this one with a little bit more taken off. Find
So
a clean
that's the
spot on the
clear.
rag. Again, I'm using the clear as an eraser. I didn't use much. I move it around.
I love that technique. That's awesome.
Pretty. You look like a professional painter, and you didn't do too much.
In
Right?
seconds too. In seconds.
Okay.
Seconds, yep.
So if you've used our wax before, or I say ours, I don't own the company, But you know, if you
Dang
used
it.
American Paint Company before, that's probably very natural to use the waxes like that, right? You use them as the color they come, whether they're clear, dark, or black. But now I want to show you how you can take that clear wax. We are pretty paint can. We use it a
Well
lot.
loved.
And now I could say, oops, I'm gonna get some black on there. I'm gonna mix a paint color with the clear wax to make my own. And you see how it comes out
Nice.
hands really great as well. Okay, so this is Stellar J. It's a really nice bright blue in our Canadian collection. And we're gonna get some clear wax. So when I'm mixing paint and wax, I want to mix the paint to the wax, not the other way around. So I want to put some wax in a container. It's all natural. So if you want to use a soup bowl, you sure can. And if you want to use a spoon, you can, because it's all natural. So I'm going to mix some clear wax with some paint. The more paint that I use, the darker it's going to be. The less paint I use, of course, the lighter it's going to be. And now I've just made my own little custom color of wax. Right?
Thanks, Anne Marie. Anne Marie says, "I love APC paint and wax.
Oh.
Great tips. Thank you."
Oh,
You're doing
great.
Awesome. You're doing awesome, Charlene. I
Oh,
love it.
thanks, Kevin. You too, Tam Tam.
Oh, thanks.
So if you can add colors into the clear wax, I mean, it's pretty much endless then. What kind of
Right. So what this does for us as well is how many paint colors do we have? Over 40, right? Right, over 40 paint colors, something like that. I haven't counted it.
Well, there's 30 of the tried and true, and then we have some special
Hmm.
collections. So there's like another 16. So
Yeah. So yeah, 46. So what this done is it's opened up a whole 46 colors to my repertoire of wax.
there you
Right.
go.
I can then mix my own. So now let's try. Let's see what this puppy looks like. So just gonna put a lid on that. So this is, again, a best-selling color, home plate. So home plates are cream. So we're gonna put Stellar J. Well, I don't know why I'm using this. I'll use my rag. We're gonna put Stellar J on top of our cream. Again, just clear wax, a little bit of paint. If I wanted a little lighter, I don't know why I like it that way, but I do. And then I'm going to put it on. And I mean, of course, you would fix your edges and all that stuff, but you know, for the sake of time, I'm really just doing the front part. So again, like lotion on the skin.
I love that color.
Pull
That's
it
cool.
off.
One of my favorites.
So I like to pull with the grain too, because then, you know, I get that nice line rather than me going up and down like this. I get this nice wax line that kind of stays in the residue.
Smooth line.
Smooth. We want
Yes.
smooth line. So, and I can leave that nice dark navy, or not navy, blue line, or I could take it away. If I wanted a little less blue, in comes the clear wax to act as an eraser. How's that look?
Nice. Zoom in on that, Tammy. I like that.
Like that?
I love the blue on the detailed and the cracks.
Yeah.
It's pretty, right?
Stellar
Nice.
J is a pretty color.
And then you could just cap, you know, I could put a lid on this and keep it. The only thing I don't want to do with my wax is leave them in the garage. I don't know why they'd be out there, but if they were, they're not supposed to freeze. So,
Or the paint.
or the paint or anything, let's just put it out there. Don't let anything freeze. So that
Yeah, I definitely
is,
wouldn't have to take anything off. It's nice and light.
that's very pretty.
Nice.
Yeah.
And it's sealed too, right?
And it's sealed and we're done. And that's what we need to,
Perfect.
you know, some people think, you know, I use the wax and then I have to go back to the sealer. So that's no, it's wax, and wax is last, starts with a W. It's the last thing you do.
Wax is
If you're not using the top coat or the hard coat, which is a different sealer, and you're using the wax, this is sealed and it's ready to go. So like I said, you would probably let this dry 2 to 4 hours, and the next day you're just going to get a clean rag, and then you buff it. Speaking of buffing, you can also, for our very super serious painters, we have a buffing brush. Is that what you call it? Drill brush. So it goes on the end of your drill. So if you have, you can imagine if you had a big hut and I had a cloth and I had to buff it.
You'd be there all night.
That's right. So this is your
She wouldn't be
lifesaver.
doing it.
That's right. I mean, Tammy.
Tammy would be doing it.
So it goes on the end of your drill. It spins as fast as you push her, and what it does is it buffs it for you, and it really does a great job of buffing.
Yeah, we.
And it goes round and round, and it buffs it really great. So if you do it like kitchen cupboards, or if that's what you want to do is with wax, or if you want to do a dresser and you're doing quite a bit, this is going to be your best friend.
That's a great hack. I like that one.
And the other thing that I would say, because the antiquity brushes come in the small and the large, is that I tend to keep one for just clear wax, and then I'll do the other ones for either the dark or the black. And the white I tend to use just with red because I don't use it quite as much, but it's a gorgeous color. But I like to keep a brush just for clear, so I don't have to kind of try to dig out all that. I mean, it does come off really well, but it's nice if you can keep a clear one. And then I will wrap it with a piece of paper towel, and then I'll put it in Ziploc bags, and I hardly ever wash them, to be honest. Paintbrushes, yes. My wax brush, not so much. Make sense?
Yep. So even the ones with the, like, if you're using black wax, do you wash your brush, or do you just wrap it and you're good to go?
I just wrap it. So I wrap it in paper towel just to keep that nice round shape. And then I put them in Ziploc, take all the air out, seal up my Ziploc, and then they're good to go the next time I want to use them.
That's awesome. Nice.
They're really, really great prices, and a small and a large, or two smalls, however you want to do. I like to cover a lot of surface area at one time.
I never noticed.
So this would be the big is my friend. So
can you put one of those brushes on a drill as well?
You can't. But
shoot.
Don't ask me. I just might try to chisel that down. All right. So again, if this is a piece of furniture, I'm waxing, whether I wax with the color, or I wax with the white, or I wax with the clear. When I'm done waxing, I buff the next day or 2 to 4 hours later, and I'm done. So what we did is, because remember I was talking about how we always have, like we do our signs here at the Primitive Lane. So, and I mean, there's lots of you out there with like a silhouette or a cricket where you make your own letters. I'm not going to get into how if you don't have one, but there's lots of you out there that do your own signs with the silhouette or the cricket.
Ta-da!
So we made.
Julie, thanks for jumping on. Julie says, looking good, guys.
Aw, thank you, Julie. So we did signs. So what I wanted to show you as well is another little trick with the wax is using the micas, and then how to use a little bit less wax if I didn't want to keep going in there as an eraser. So what we're going to do is we're going to put clear wax on first. Then we're going to put dark wax so that it doesn't permeate as much into the wood. So what it does is then the clear wax kind of seals it first, and the dark wax will add that antiquing medium that I want without me having to remove too much. I'm going to move all my rags.
I love that seasonal project. I missed that. Did you buy that, or did you paint that and stencil that? Or?
Yeah, we made these. Oh, sorry. I should say we made them because, I mean, you're a guy, Kevin, so you wouldn't know. But there's crickets and silhouettes out there would allow people to make their own vinyls or their own stencils, and it's such a huge thing now, like the DIYer at home. So we made these. Husband cut the wood. We made these. We painted the background in persimmon, which is our orange, and then I think Uncle Sam, Tammy?
Yeah.
Uncle Sam and Nana's, and that's how we made these lines. And then we have what's called a little mouth sander, and we went around and we sanded. So now we're ready to continue with this sign.
I love it. Those look good.
Let's make it a little more, I don't know what the right word would be.
Seal it, because
first of all, we have to seal it, and I don't want to seal it at the top because the sign is not what I'm looking for. And second of all, I like to add a little patina to it, and I feel like that's what the waxes do for us, is add a little more character and nice stuff to the wood. Makes sense? So let's work with this. So if you want the wax, the dark wax or the black wax that you're going to put on after as an antiquing medium, it's still a sealer, but it's going to antique it a little bit, not to permeate your piece at all, as much, I want to say. Then you want to start with a layer of clear wax. So it's another nice little trick, because what the wax does is it protects it. And here you're going to see the orange turn.
Look at that pop.
Ooh, that does pop.
Right?
Right? Look like it's gorgeous. So again, I just kind of threw my wax on there real fast. because I can see some extra sitting on here. So I always want to wipe it back. And I mean, we just did these yesterday, so it's not like they're not old. But I mean, see, I'm picking up a little orange. It's no big deal.
Yep.
So now that that's done, we always do ours with dark
That's so
wax.
fast.
Right? That's why we use wax to seal it.
So when I go back with my dark, and the other thing I want to mention is, you see how I left all this raw wood? Because now I'm going to use the wax kind of like it's staining the wood, which is what we really like. So we worked a lot with our signs.
Quick.
What do you mean?
And it's quick.
And it's quick. So
is it the black or the?
this is dark.
Brown. Okay, dark brown.
Yeah, dark. So I'm just going to go over it.
Tricia says, love that color.
Isn't it nice? And
Hi,
I mean,
Trish.
it's the time of year too, right? So I'm going to go over this, all of it, because remember, I've got clear wax on the bottom. So what it's going to do, I missed a corner. is I'm going to start pulling it off.
Nice.
And what that does is it doesn't permeate as much as if I just went with dark wax and then I went with clear.
Very subtle, but it looks good.
The other thing is we do our raw edges. So we drop some and then we do our raw edges like that. So now it's a finished sign instead of having to go into and paint them, and so much faster, right? Because all we've done is painted the front of the sign. Look at me, I'm waxing myself. So really, again, really fast. But remember now we want these to either sit for a little while and then buff them. It's important to buff.
It is.
Or we always let ours sit like I was saying the next day, and then we buff them like that. So we do all 4 sides.
That's a great touch to do that on the sides.
Right? Isn't that nice? So
Yeah, it makes it look really good.
A boring piece of pine into something more rustic, more country, more.
Well, it just looks like a wood stain.
You could sell those. Yeah, those are awesome. So what did you do around the edges? You said you sanded off just.
Yeah. So we sanded. Where's my other one?
You put it away.
Oh, I did. We sanded it with a little mouth sander, which is, if you're gonna do this, they're fairly inexpensive at the hardware store, and it's just a little pointed mouth sander. And then we went around just on the orange, on the edges of the sign, and took that off, kind of in like a little, even a circular motion.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see there's a big difference between, even if I had painted this from edge to edge, which sign is nicer, right? And I whoops.
Get a clean one.
Get a clean one. Play with it even more.
And if you found that still too dark, you can still use clear as an eraser.
Which I can do.
Which you can do.
Right here. All right.
Because some people don't like it dark.
So again, if I come back in with my clear, I tend to drop a dollop and then I move that dollop around. You can see it starts to pick up the dark wax. And now, see how my dollop of clear wax is getting to be a little dirty? Because that's what it's doing, is it's picking up. I'll leave the fall not done.
So you can see.
So you can see. So my island must not be. It's like boom, 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 boom.
Not level.
So and then I wipe that away, and I still get the lovely patina, a little bit of dark wax in the corners, but then I get the welcome really, really light. And I still have all
big
of this.
difference, between that
Yeah.
and that.
Yeah, that is. That's cool.
Whichever
I like
you
that.
feel is the best, because there's nothing wrong with this. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to bring it out a little bit more, then like I said, clear wax is your best friend as an eraser.
Nothing to be scared about, Kevin.
No.
Said nothing to be scared about.
You're good at this, Charlene. I think you've probably taught a workshop or two.
Just a couple.
Couple
Okay.
thousand, maybe.
Couple thousand. How are we doing? Anybody have questions yet before we keep going? Is everybody doing all right? Everybody's doing good?
Yep, doing good.
Excellent. Okay. So this last one, we decided what we were going to do with this is go around the edge with the brown, and then we're going to show you the other super fun thing that you can do. Oh, I put them here with the clear wax. So we APC has a thing what they call micas. So they are a mineral grade mica powder that you can either mix into the top coat or mix into the wax. And when you mix it into the wax, it becomes what people call like a gilding wax. Typically they're gold, but you can use copper. You can use, I forget how many colors we have.
So many.
We have black, silver. They're all there anyways. Kevin can shout out a few more while I.
Well, Charlene, I'll interrupt you real quick. Julie
What?
has a question here. She said,
Yeah.
what if you want to antique a white piece but not dirty the paint?
But not dirty the paint. What if you want to antique it with like a dark wax? She's asking. Or
yes.
so I'm assuming I'm assuming she means put dark wax on it, but not dirty up the paint. So the best thing for that was I would put the clear wax on the bottom first, so it doesn't allow the dark wax to permeate into the piece so much. And then if you wanted just to antique, if this was a dresser, and I wanted just to antique the sides, which is what we're going to do on this, is then I would just concentrate on putting that dark wax where I want it. And because I've put the clear wax everywhere, it's already sealed.
We can show it there.
Very good.
Yeah, no, yeah, there I
You did
kinda
a dark
sanded it
wax
away.
there. And
A little
see
bit.
there's none there.
Yeah, that's true.
We can show if you want.
Yeah, go for it. This
Okay.
little piece here we have, I stand it in distress and I put just dark wax here on these edges. And then if you come to this corner here, I didn't put any at all. So this is just sealed with the clear and it's super soft, smooth finish. And then to
And then-
put a little antiquing in it, we put some little dark wax.
I don't
on it.
know, Kevin, if you can tell the difference, but there's a difference.
Yeah, no, I can. I like that. So basically you put the clear wax down first so it's sealed, and
Yeah.
then you can add the dark just where you want and still
That's right.
know that your piece is sealed.
That's right. Your piece is
Okay.
still sealed. Your dark wax is not going to permeate into the piece as much as if you just put dark wax straight to the piece, because it stops. The clear wax gives you that where it stops it from going in so deep.
Nice,
then-
nice.
Again, because I have the clear wax in hand, when I did my piece originally and I put the dark on, if I feel like I put it on a place that didn't need to go, I still have my clear hand my clear wax that I can go and erase a little bit, and I can get a little bit of antiquing along the sides, along the drawers, and everywhere I want it.
It's a work of art. It's an ongoing
That's right.
project, ongoing piece.
A piece will start to sing to you and tell you what you want.
Yeah, we hear that a lot. That's awesome.
It really does. Okay, so if you haven't played with the micas yet, they're kind of fun. So I think the copper look nice. What do you think, Pam?
Copper?
Yeah.
On orange, will you see it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think so. So what it's gonna do is gonna add a little bit of shimmer to my piece. So it's not gonna be so bam out there. It's just gonna shimmer a little bit. So I take the clear wax again. I'm gonna try copper because we did play with the gold the other day. And like it's just a loose powder. So I'm gonna put as much as I want. Sorry, as much as I put. The more I put, the more it's gonna have, right? Oops, sorry, I should do that to you a little bit. I think I'm gonna add. Well, maybe I got enough.
Sure looks shiny in there.
Yeah, super shiny. So you can see how I've turned my here can you see it now? I've turned my clear wax into like a gilding paste.
Nice.
And again, another gorgeous little technique. So we're going to, I think in this case, I'll put the dark wax on. Okay, I haven't done this before, so if it doesn't work. Oops.
I'm looking forward to seeing this.
Okay, so in this case, I would do all the way around with my dark wax, but the sake of video, let's just do our edges. And maybe this will help answer Julie's question a little bit, because if this was clear waxed already, then I would just do my dark wax around the edges for some antiquing. So it's antiquing it and it's sealing it.
But there's no clear underneath it.
There's
so
no
it's
clear
gonna
this time.
permeate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's going to permeate.
It's going to be a lot darker.
Yeah. But if this had clear underneath, it would be a little less dark.
Makes sense.
But you can still use clear as an eraser.
Yes. But it's my best friend, I swear.
Yeah.
We always use clear as an eraser a little bit. So when you add micas to the clear wax, it's still your sealer. So once I put this on like this, it's sealed and it's done. Okay, let's see if this works. I mean, Let's see if it looks good. I mean, I know it's gonna work.
Perfect. Nice. Just leave it like that. Don't do anything.
Perfect. But I love it already. So you
Aw.
see look how shiny it is. So what it does is it adds a little bit of sparkle. Of course, it's on too much right now.
Really?
But you can already see the shimmer. Can the shimmer show up on camera?
Can you see it?
Yeah, a little bit from the lighting. Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, it's
Too
too bad. You can
You could probably see it a lot more in real time there.
Yeah, you can.
In real time, you can. And in not real time, in my time, I guess. But
Real life.
it was in real life. That's the word. I was looking for. If this was a gorgeous antique piece and I just wanted to add a little bit of shimmer here and there, I mean, it's the cat's meow.
That is
And I
cool.
put my own shimmering or my own shimmering paste per se. And guess what I'm going into? Just because I got to.
It's the
Because
clear.
I found it a little bit dark on my words. So I'm going to bring a little bit of that clear in there. And I buff it out. And it's probably
Now
going to
you
be
can
too
see
hard
the
to see on
difference.
camera.
Wait, do the fall too, if you can really see it.
Looking really good. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, do the fall like this.
Do the fall like that, Tim says.
Oui, madame.
But what you can't see is the pretty little bit of shimmer we got to this sign.
Yeah, it's too bad it doesn't come
Yeah.
out.
But at least you know now that you can mix the micas with your wax. And then like this is copper, there's gold, there's silver, there's black, there's a lot. I think there's 7. I could look behind you.
Oh, look behind you.
Well, you can get it in the metallics form, which is already, liquefied, and I think that one has 7 or 8 now. But the mica, I can't remember what's the 5th one. There's 5, I think: copper, gold, black, silver, pewter.
Yeah,
Pewter,
I don't think I have them all. We sold some, so
yeah,
that's right. And yeah, they're not overpowering in the wax, and that just makes it a really nice.
Can you
Let's
see
see
the
if I
shimmer?
pull up the other one.
I can see the
There you
shimmer
go.
live.
So this is more like your matte orange. Of course, here I
Mhm.
left the dark wax on. Here it's clear, and then this has a coppery undertone to it that's not showing up on camera, but you're just gonna have to trust me on this one and try it yourself at home.
yeah. No, we can tell. You can tell.
Perfect.
Looks really good.
Apart from like we're working on little pieces here and but I mean this is the same techniques that you're going to use on a dresser or anything like that. And when I think of if I had an old, what's a towel dresser?
A what?
The ones with the towel wash basin to paint, right? And I didn't want it to be the shiny finish of the top coat. Then that's why one of the reasons also that I would turn to wax for the fine furnishings. Which then it just lends to that finish of the era that it come from, if that makes sense.
And then you can
Mhm.
also top coat first.
That's right. And
Yeah.
if I had the 4 kids running around, because all of a sudden I lost 2 kids, I had 6 a minute ago, but I got 4 now. But I've had 2 kids running around.
2
And
graduated, they're gone.
that's right, 2 graduated. Now I have 4 kids in the house, and I still need to protect it from grubby fingers. It's the top coat first, the clear wax after, and then it's sealed and it's done. But I mean, again, it comes down to lifestyle. If it was just me and hubby and I had that old wash basin where I didn't feel like anybody's going to touch it, I'm just going to clear wax it. I don't need to do any other steps and I'm done. If it wasn't done and I felt like it needed a little bit more oomph, I can come back and add a little bit of dark wax, white wax, black wax, colored wax, wax with micas, all that fun stuff.
Julie's asking again, Charlene, if wax is good for a kitchen table.
So I really, really think it depends on your lifestyle. So I'm not ever going to say you can't wax your kitchen table because you certainly can. But if you have those, like the children or they're really hard on your table, all that might mean if it is 6 months or 8 months down the line, you might have to re-wax a little bit. Or maybe you don't want to use wax at all. Maybe you want to come to top coat like that. It really, really becomes a lifestyle thing. And then again, your shine that you're looking for as well. I've waxed the table and I don't have issues, but if you're hard on your table, then you might want to use top coat because there's no reason why you can't. It just means you might have to touch it up, and you've seen how fast I do these signs. It's a real quick touch up with the table. Just put a little bit on and you're done. And I
Awesome.
mean, we've done waxing, and even when if you're top coat or hard coating, you shouldn't, you should. Well, our wax has to cure for a couple weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. So I don't want to put everything heavy on the table. I don't want to put hot coffee on a table. I would use placemats, protect it for a little while until it gets nice and durable at that 3-week mark. Don't forget about the buffing. Like tomorrow, I'm gonna buff these things, and they're gonna be even shinier and prettier than what they look like now. So, and even all our baseboards, right? All this color is going to come even more beautiful when we buff it. And again, that can be done with just a lint-free cloth and rubbing it. You'll see the more you rub, the shinier it gets. Or for super serious, right? Our buff, right?
Yeah.
But it's really important to remember to buff. So
It is.
well, the way
Yeah.
we take a wax is on, off, buff. So putting it on, taking any excess off, buff the next day or buff a few hours later. So 2 to 3 hours later. 2 to 4. Whatever you want.
The next day.
I go in the next day. It's time. You're tired. Take a break.
Every time you say buff, I keep thinking, like.
Yeah.
Need to
I
buff
think
it up.
Rod did. That's all I think when I say on, off, buff.
Wax off.
Wax on, wax off.
Absolutely. So I really, really hope this encourages you all to, to try the wax. It's one of our favorite products here at the store. We do remember it has no smell. It comes off like my hands. You know how dirty they were. It comes off my hands great. And there's such a variety of color, and then there's more variety beyond that. If you can just want to, play with the micas, add paint to it. It's so much fun. So
do you,
anyway.
so tell me, Charlene, like if I can come into your store and buy the wax, or where are you at, or how else can I buy from you?
So we're in Grand Prairie, Alberta, Canada, and we have our store, and it's open Monday to Saturday, 10 to 5. And then we have a website, which is theprimitivelane.com, and we have the entire line of American Paint Company on there. And then we charge a $20 base fee for shipping anywhere in Canada. I probably would ship to the States. I just haven't yet, and the website's really not set up for it yet. But we do most of our shipping in Canada right now. But yeah. So
what was the website again, Charlene?
Theprimitivelane.com.
Theprimitivelane.com. Okay.
Yeah. And then we have it all broken into sealers and paints online. So and if you have any questions, there's a question form there. You can find us on Facebook and ask us questions there. And we're always here ready to lend a hand.
So I know that you've done, a ton of workshops, and that's a big, thing that you offer in your store. Has that changed because of COVID, and have you noticed more online because of COVID, or?
It has changed because of COVID. We have to pivot a little bit, and we've done a DIY kits that we take home, and we actually, package everything in little sealable containers like this, and you get to pick your paint colors, and you get you get your sealer, you get everything you need. We're not proceeding forward with workshops just yet. We feel like we're just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen in the world, and then we miss everybody in there like crazy. But we're also thinking about starting to do some live painting classes. So I think that would be fun, where we're all doing our painting projects together. So,
that's a great idea. Yeah.
So
you could buy like the paint or the kit or whatever it is, and then come on live and follow along type thing.
That's right. Yeah, and then you can do it however you want, and then just kind of follow along. You can watch live, or you can do the replay and do it in your
pause, rewind.
I love that idea. Yeah, if anybody's watching this and you like that idea, leave it in the comments. Let Charlene know so she can set one of those up. That sounds like an awesome idea.
Yeah, and we have some on a website right now, so we just haven't done the live. I know Julie has done some lives like that, so I'm gonna pick her brain a little bit, I think.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, Charlene. Well, thank you so much, and Tammy too. You did a great job. It looks amazing. Your projects look awesome. I feel, more confident now to tackle a project with wax.
We're here for you if you need help.
And check her out, theprimitivelane.com. Check out what she's got on her website.
Sounds good. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.
Bye.
Take good care. Bye now.
See ya.